What's up, you guys? Void here, coming back at y'all with another video. This time I wanted to go over some more information that we got about the Explorers of Ixalan, a little 4-player board game, mini game. What exactly is it? I'm going to go over here pretty quickly, just what it's about. So if you don't know, it's essentially kind of like Arch Enemy Nicol Bolas. About in the same size box. The MSRP, however, is $64.99. So that is a little bit expensive for what we can expect from these little side gimmicks and little board games they've tried to do in the past. What do we get here? What exactly is the game? Well, you get 4 60-card decks, which is very similar to the whole Arch Enemy thing. This could probably translate well into casual if you're a casual player, something like that. But you also get some pretty good cards too, which I'm going to go over here in a minute. You also get 20 double-sided tokens. This is also an incentive because the decks are based around the 4 tribes of Ixalan: the dinosaurs, the vampires, the pirates, and the merfolk. So you have a lot of different tokens, a lot of different creature types that you have to account for. So 20 double-sided tokens. Kind of wished for the MSRP that we would have gotten more than just 20 double-sided tokens, maybe 40 tokens, and kind of the literal definition of half-assing it. You're only putting in half as much as you actually could have, so that's kind of a downside there. But again, there are a lot of things that are wrong with this card game when it comes to card quality and things like that, so I'm not going to nitpick too much over the double-sided thing. It saves them money. They care about their bottom dollar, so whatever. And then there's 50 game tiles. So what these game tiles are essentially, again, I'm not an expert on board games, but what these are basically, you put these counter pieces, which there's 40 counter pieces that come with the box, and you put these counter pieces, what they have is just numbers on them. So you can pay whatever mana cost equal to what those numbers are, and you get to reveal what the tile says underneath it. So you flip it, and this is sort of the gimmick here. You're basically exploring Ixalan and trying to find the tile that has the golden city of Araska, the lost city of Araska, on the other side. That's the whole point of the game. I'm guessing whoever finds that city wins the game. So games can range a few minutes to whoever's able to pay enough mana to get lucky and be the first one to hit the city, or if you just win before that happens, so I guess that's how you win too. So that's a little weird. It also comes with 4 deck boxes, which I'm not a huge fan of deck boxes that come with the actual products. They're usually just made out of cheap cardboard and not really something too fantastic. Usually they can't hold sleeved cards anyway, so I tend to ditch them or just keep them in the box altogether. So yeah, the 4 tribes are the dinosaurs, the merfolk, vampire, and pirates. And some of the cards that we've gotten spoiled here the past day or so are actually quite impressive, and some of these are worth some money, and they see some consistent commander play. The first one we have is Adaptive Automaton. This is perfect for what you want to do with Ixalan when it comes to tribes. You definitely want to have anthem effects, things like that are going to help you push for more damage, and this one is coming with the pirate deck, I believe. Definitely important when you're playing these smaller, weaker creatures that you can buff them up with anthems, as well as just have another creature there that's also considered a pirate on the battlefield. That never hurts either. Around $6, so kind of impressive when it comes to the whole value of the actual card. Definitely cool to see it reprinted. And then we of course have Quicksilver Amulet. Sees a ton of play in a lot of these bigger creature decks, such as the Gishath Dinosaur deck for Commander, as well as seeing play in Mael the Anima, because there are a ton of gigantic creatures in that deck as well, and when you can cheat those into play, that's pretty nice. I believe Quicksilver Amulet was hovering around $8 last time I checked, so pretty good value right there. But we're not even done covering all the awesome cards that we've had spoiled here. We have Shared Animosity, around a $5 card, maybe a little bit less. Nothing too spectacular in Commander, but it is another kind of steel effect, and steel effects are pretty solid. We also have Threads of Disloyalty, which I did not know that this card was around a $15 to $20 card. I think it's right around $11 right now. I don't know if that's because of the reprint notice or whatever, but the card, it's pretty solid. Basically a huge buff for creatures attacking as long as they're the same creature type. Perfect for tribal based decks, anything like that, and it's obviously going to see some play in Commander. Pretty good reprint. Definitely going to add to that value of the entire box as a whole. And they of course have probably the biggest reprint in the whole box, and that is Time Warp. 5 mana, take an extra turn, 3 more mana, then Time Walk. Some people think that's significantly worse, but still, it's recurable. It doesn't exile itself. It's one of those extra turn spells that can get out of hand if you have something like an Eternal Witness or an Archaeomancer that you can flicker, do something like that, get infinite turns practically, and win the game pretty easily. So one of the most busted effects in the entire game, taking an extra turn, is pretty busted. Around a $15 to $20 card depending on what version you want to get. And then we have the next card, which is Aggravated Assault. Sees a ton of play in Commander. It's one of those awesome enchantments. We have so many of these extra combat steps cards and things like that, but they're usually just one-time uses unless you can recur them from your graveyard. This one, however, is an enchantment where as long as you have the mana to pay for it, you can just keep attacking and keep going and keep getting those extra combat steps. Usually cards like these limit how many times you can take extra combats, especially the newer ones that they keep coming out with. However, this one, if you have enough mana, let's say you use something like Neheb the Eternal, who is capable of just giving you a ton of mana to work with, and will likely keep you going when it comes to getting extra combats with this card, and you can pretty much just go infinite. Very powerful, very strong card, also around a $15 card as well. So right there, I maybe just mentioned maybe $40 in total value, maybe more than that, and we don't actually have the entire deck list spoiled either. And these are 60 card decks, so we could potentially see some good lands. We could potentially see something more than that. Who knows? But the fact that we already have the solid value in addition to the actual board game itself, because I'm not going to sell that short. That might actually be extremely fun. A lot of people like Plane Chase, and I know they're going to try to compare this to Plane Chase when they're trying to sell it. When it comes to Plane Chase, though, if you were aware of the whole anthology set for Plane Chase, that was way too expensive, around $120 around that MSRP, so very ridiculous. This, though, is a little bit more reasonably priced, around 65 bucks. That's a little bit more affordable. You are getting 4 60-card decks, so keep that in mind. And you are actually getting a unique game here. You're getting something brand new that they haven't done before. And I actually like it. I think it's interesting. I think it's well, I don't think it's overwhelmingly unique. I mean, it's basically just, hey, get lucky and hit the golden city of Araska, and you win the game. But aside from that, though, the other tiles, they kind of interact in a similar way that the whole Plane Chase playing cards did, where you get certain benefits based off of what tiles you flip. That's definitely interesting. Don't know if I'm going to get this, though. A lot of these cards are pretty good. We also have another card to mention, though I almost forgot about this one, but Regisaur Alpha. So this means that they are going to be reprinting cards from Ixalan, something that we haven't really seen done too often, reprinting cards that were just released in, like, within 2 months. So pretty decent standard card. Probably gonna tank the value a little bit, but I wouldn't expect it to go down too much. And I also believe that they're going to be reprinting Vanquisher's Banner, other cards from Ixalan as well. So if you have a favorite card, you don't know exactly whether or not it's going to be reprinted, might as well sell it now. But anyway, I actually think this is a pretty decent product here. For $65, you get something where you have a board game. You can pretty much just take the 60 card decks. If you don't want to completely just dismantle them, which I probably wouldn't, I would just keep them in the box, because this is what you buy it for. You buy it for the game. If you want a Quicksilver Amulet, if you want a Time Warp, just get them separately. You know, you don't have to pay $65 to get a few cards you want for your EDH decks and just completely ruin a board game. I mean, it's not going to be completely ruined, but you have to understand here that these decks are made to kind of work well with each other. They're kind of balanced. So unless you can make 60 card decks that are just as balanced as these are, or who knows, they may not be that balanced, because from what I've seen so far, it seems like the Dinosaurs have a pretty good deck here with Aggravated Assault and Regisaur Alpha, pretty strong cards in Standard and just limited. So I don't know if this is going to play more like limited or not, but again, I think it's a solid product, though. Definitely worth it if you want to change it up a bit. If you like Commander, if you like sort of going outside of your comfort zone to play something that you didn't think you'd like before. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was a help to you if you were curious about this product. Explorers of Ixalan will release November 24th. So look forward to that. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. Void here, signing off.